Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to take videos from YouTube and put them into a Flash document, like maybe like a website intro. So first thing you're going to do is you need to run Firefox and get something called Download Helper. Just go to add-ons, type in Download Helper. Next time Firefox starts, you'll see this little icon up here, play. So let's say you want this Mustang video for whatever reason. Drop this little arrow down, and I'm going to choose the one that says 480p. I'm going to hit download, not convert and download because they make you pay for it and stuff like that. I'm just going to download it, and come on, buddy, you can do it. My Firefox just locked up, but luckily I already downloaded the video. And what I'm going to do is run another program called Free Video Converter, which is another free download. And I'm going to go to Add File, and I saved it on my desktop already. Go to the bottom here, Ford Mustang commercial. Should be a FLV, alright? And what I want to do here is I actually want to trim it. It's kind of easier to do it right here. So you can basically just click on the video here, and then you can go ahead and tell it when to start. I want mine to start at like 6 or 7 seconds, and then I can click end, and maybe I only want to use 6 seconds of it. So from 6 to 12, you can do whatever you like. And size and aspect, no change, no change. Frames per second, you can change that to 30 if you would like. I'm going to go with 25. That works just fine. And the bit rate's a little bit low, so I'm going to bump mine up to over 1,000. All right, just got to click that button right there and move it up. Okay. Then I'm going to go to convert, and it should be pretty quick. It's only doing 6 seconds, and now it says it's done. Okay. One thing I want to point out, if you don't want the audio, check this, uncheck that so there's no audio included. And so for maybe this part of the video, maybe I'm going to go from 18 seconds to let's say 25 seconds. Alright, again I need to make sure that's selected, and this one's going to convert with no audio instead. Alright, great. Okay, and now in Flash what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, Import Video. No, I'm sorry, don't do that. Import to library. Alright, and I converted it twice, and so like right now here's my Mustang video commercial. Since I did it twice, there's this one, and that should be it. So I did it twice. There's going to be like a little number 1 and 2 next to it. This program here, the Free Video Converter, if you go to Output Path, it shows you where it saves it to. Mine was Save in Files Directory. Since I put it on the desktop, it saves to the desktop. Or you can tell it to go somewhere else. Okay? Alright, so in Flash, back to this. It's going to say it's going to use this video. Okay, great. And I'm just going to go through this process. I think all these settings are just fine. Alright? I'm going to do it twice because I brought in 2 videos at once. So here they are. So I just bring this video in, and you notice right now a couple things. I'm going to delete it again. You notice one thing is it's bigger than my stage, right? So if you have this selected, this one, this free transform tool, you can resize it, all right, or you can rotate it or whatever else you'd like. Now you can skew it and do some fun things like that. I'm not saying we need to do that. See, it actually does warp it, so if you need it to be narrow, you can do that. That's not something we really want. So what I'm going to do is hold down Shift, and it'll keep the aspect correct. Alright, it'll keep the size correct. So this doesn't really fit up right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the stage, and right now the default's 550 to 400. I'm going to click that. I'm going to go to 480, and it should be like 800. Alright, and I'm going to change this to 25 frames per second. Otherwise the audio is not going to be very good. Oops, let's change that. 800 by 480. Let's try that instead. And I'm going to change my background color to black because I think it's just going to look nicer. Alright, cool. So I'm going to delete that and bring it in again just to see what it looks like on here. There we go. That's about the right size. It's a little bit wider still, but that's alright. It's pretty close. And so if you watch this already, it brings in the video, and it looks pretty good. It's not going to look as good as it does on YouTube just because it's a Flash document and it compresses it a lot. But let's say I don't, and that's all you need. Like, you could just go ahead and you could see that it extended my video all the way to 145. Maybe I want the next video to show up right there. So I can just put a keyframe right there. So F6, and maybe in this spot, I don't want that video though. I want this video to start the second one, and I could put it right on top right there. Okay. and it says this one needs 169 frames. Okay, great. So now it's going through that one, and it starts doing this video, and that's all fine and dandy. Let's try to make this a little more interesting, though. Instead of doing it all like that, I'm just going to delete these now. Actually, no, I'm going to make a new layer. I'm just going to delete this one. You do whatever you want. Instead of doing it like that, I'm going to go to the first frame now, and I'm going to go with bring the video in, sure. But I'm going to make mine smaller. Maybe I'm going to go this size. Alright. And maybe I have my company logo here for whatever reason. This is intro to my website, right? So I could do things like this too. Like maybe it's going to motion tween in. So I'm going to go to frame 55 here. I'm going to do F6. Alright, and at that point it's going to be right here. And I'm going to put a motion tween in there. Alright. So now you can see it actually is, the video is going to be going, and it's going to keep going through like that, see? Which is great. Or maybe like if I want, and by the way, you can actually zoom out if you'd like. If you want to go small, you can see more frames at once. Maybe it's slowly going in that direction the entire time. And remember, you can click on these frames and still move things around. So now if I watch this, Control Enter, videos coming in like that, and I still have all this black room to do other things in there, okay? Or for example, let's say if I click on this in this keyframe right here, I can also go to alpha and change that as well. So maybe in the first frame, I could change the alpha of that to 0, and it's going to actually fade in as we go. See? So really, you could have a lot of different videos doing different things. So like, for example, I could also grab my second video and bring that in. So really, I should probably put it on its own frame though. Maybe at this point, it's going to come in. I'm going to F6 and bring this one in too. And, maybe I could have it going the opposite direction. So from this one, I can go to the end, put F6 here. And by this point, it's already going across the entire way. Put a motion tween in there. And by the way, it says this video requires 169 to show the entire thing. So I think what it's going to do is it automatically will play the entire thing no matter what. So now it's going to look like this instead. You could change it however you want. So only the first one actually has audio, and the second one, doesn't. So I would suggest disabling all audio and just going without it, okay? And really, you could do some other things, like, I could take this frame and duplicate it. I thought you can duplicate frames. Come on, buddy. Duplicate. Maybe I can't. I thought I could do that in this version. Maybe not. Alright, whatever. But you could bring in all the videos that you want. You could have these going from different directions. You could have your logo on there any way you want. Just remember, depending on what layer it's on, that's what shows first. So really, like the example I was just showing you, I'd probably want this layer on top. That way the video is showing, because that's the smaller one that's shown through. So that's probably too many. I should probably have a bunch of smaller ones, that way I actually have room for my logo and whatnot. But that's how you do it. You can change the size of it as it goes. You can change if it's actually showing through or not. Big thing is just make sure you have the right settings to make sure the video plays the way you want. Hope you enjoyed this.